Purchase orders, sending orders and receiving orders. Once you've generated an order, your next step is to send it to the supplier. So you can do stock functions, purchase orders. So at the moment we've got a Canagan order here ready to go. So let's pretend we're happy with this. What do we do to send it? Well, we could print it out and just pick up the phone and read out all the supplier codes if we want to by pressing print order items, and there's the list and so on, just reading through all the supplier codes. We could email the order, which is generally the way you'd probably do it. So you could do standard view and that'll ask you how do you want to email it, PDF, HTML. You could export the order as a CSV or Excel spreadsheet, and again emailing it with those same attachments. Typically, if you are going to export or email via the CSV, most suppliers want supplier code and then case quantity. That's all they really want, you know, how many and what is it. That's generally the same format. So if you need a more customized format, just ask us and we can add it as an extra option. Okay, you can also export the items in a CSV format, but using one of the print layouts. So over here, when we printed them out like this, we've got a print style. So you can go here, edit print out templates, edit the layout, and decide which columns you want to see. Okay, and you can actually have that. You can actually choose which one ready when you're generating the new order. So where it says print style, you can choose a specific one. So maybe some suppliers like it in one format and other suppliers like it in another. So that's what's quite good about the exporting orders. You can export it in any columns you want. There's also integration source there, which certain suppliers want certain formats. So pick your supplier on the list if we've got it and it's available. So once you've got the items and you've sent it off, the system, if you email it, if you click edit order, the system will automatically tick the order placed tick box for you and will probably set it up as email. Now you can choose different ones, whether you've uploaded it to the supplier's website by CSV, fax, post, telephone, email, or just other. But once you've placed the order, tick it as placed. Then the system knows it's been placed. Since it knows it hasn't arrived, if ever you're generating an order and especially by minimum and maximum or past sales, there's a tick box that says do not order items already on order, because some items might take a while to come in, and when you're generating the next one you have to assume it's coming. But that setting relies on knowing that the order has been placed but it has not arrived. Okay, so let's mark that as placed and we'll pretend we emailed it to the supplier directly. Okay, and again we can put some sort of code in there if we want to. We can also put the date we expect it to arrive in. So let's say we expect it on Tuesday. Okay, so we press tick there, and that's it. You can choose which columns to show here. So one of the columns you might want to add in there would be has the order been placed? So somewhere down here is the placed date or something, invoice arrived date, I think is this. Is it that one? Let's find out. No, didn't think it was. Days. There it is. Date order placed. That's the one. That's the one I should have put in. So I'll get rid of that. And I'll leave it at 100. That's fine. So those that have a date next to them are the ones that we know we have actually placed the order. All right. So a few days goes by. The order arrives in. One of our first steps, which is not mandatory, but is a good idea, is to say the order has arrived. It doesn't mean we've processed or picked it or got anything like that yet. But if you tick order arrived, we now know the order has come in. Okay, so we tick that. And if we click edit order items, you can see here we've got 3 columns: quantity arrived, quantity problem, and total added to stock. So we ordered 4. We might say that we got 4, like that. We ordered 8, we got 8. We ordered 4, maybe we can say 2 came in and 2 were smashed to bits. They were damaged or destroyed or something like that. We ordered 4, none came in, And we can even say, yeah, all 6 were damaged and we arrived in. So you can see when it's under standard highlighting, it will highlight in certain colours depending on what the status is with how the items arrived in. Now, if I just put that back to 0 and that back to 0, you can actually, a quicker way is to go select all, set as checked, and that will mark them all as checked, and then just go through and change the ones that didn't come in. Hopefully it's a lot easier to say what didn't come in than what did. Of course, you can also use the PDA to check the items in as well. That is definitely a recommended way of doing it, because the app will make sure that if you scan something and it's the wrong item, you'll pick up on it. Because you can also add another line to it. Even though you've already placed the order, you can add another line and say, I got 4, but I didn't order any. So you could say 4 in one box and 0 over here on the left. So the app and the PDA is good because the 2 products may look very, very similar, but the barcode could be the one that differentiates it. So, however, if you were doing it by pen and paper and you printed it out and you ticked off what it is there, just select all, set as checked, and that's usually enough. Your next job is now to add it to the stock. So what you do is select all and then add to stock. Which one? That one. Main store. Yeah, tick. And now everything there has been added except for these 2 lines. Now it could be that the supplier doesn't do back orders and that's it, you just have to try again later. Or they could send it 2 days later. So the great thing is you can still, select both of these 2 lines, set them as checked, and then even if you select all of them and press add to stock, it will only add those that need adding. Okay, so it doesn't matter if they're already highlighted. That entire order has now been added to stock. Of course, that doesn't necessarily mean we're finished with the order. There's still a few steps to do next, which will be coming up in the next video. But in terms of tracking and receiving your order, these are basically the ways you do it. If for whatever reason you need to reduce it, you can press remove from stock, or you can right click and manually set these amounts. But obviously be careful doing that. Only do it if you know what you're doing. So quantity arrived, how many of them were problematic items, and total added to stock. Remember, these are in units. Okay, if you want them in cases, you can go order contents, add, and just find the ones that are in cases there. So you've got those 3 there, but by default you get the total quantity arrived problem and added in units. Okay, and then close that. So you can then finally go edit order and then say which staff member accepted the delivery. So I'll say person 1. Which staff member checked all the goods? Again, staff member 1. Then press tick and that's recorded against that item. So far we've generated an order and we've tracked the items and added it to stock. So now all that stock has been added.